Fellas, today we're watching 100 more Zack D Films shorts. Started at 667. By the time it's at 767, the video is over. Lock in.
Roller along the leaf blower's nozzle, then slide a toilet paper roll onto the roller and position it so the loose end sits next to the airflow before turning it on. The fast air shoots forward and the air pressure beside it drops, pulling the nearby air inward. This causes the paper to get sucked sideways into the stream, and once it touches the fast air, the drag pulls the sheet forward. The roll spins and unspools non-stop, giving you a toilet paper cannon.
Would that not run out of toilet paper in like roughly 1 second? Like, bro, I feel like when Zack makes a short like this, he's just farming someone to test it. Like, people like testing his shorts for viral videos. I feel like he's just farming someone to test this on this video. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. I mean, that would not be too hard to do. Wait. We could try this. I don't know how I would get the toilet paper in front of the blower, though. I don't know how I could get it in front. Wait, oh, he said a paint roller?
Tape a paint roller.
Oh, I need tape. Wait, should I try this? I might be able to do this. No, I don't have tape. Unfortunately, I don't have tape. All right. Never mind. Never mind. Was that loud when I did that? My fault. Buy tape? DoorDash tape? Bro, DoorDash tape? Okay, you know what? I have tape, but it's weak tape. You know what? I'll get it right now. Let's do this. Alright, bad news. The only tape I have is this Rinky Dinky Diddy tape. And I don't have a paint roller. I thought I did. I don't have a paint roller. Ninye, I've missed you ever since you moved away. Bro, who are you? What are you talking about? I don't know who you are. But I figure I can just do it on my own. I figure my hand can act as the paint roller, and I just hold the toilet paper out and test it. Let's try this. Wait, do I have the toilet paper the right direction?
Along the leaf blower's nozzle, then slide a toilet paper roll onto the roller.
Okay, got it. Zack D Films, that one does not work. The toilet paper does not unravel. I'm going to have to call that one a sham. The wind is strong today. True, bro. The roller lets it spin. Dumb. Oh. I don't have a paint roller, though. Bro. Okay, let's just go to the next one, bro. Let's just go to the next one. I'm gonna have to go down to S tier.
Tell them to squeeze the egg as hard as they can. As they grip it, the pressure spreads evenly around the arch of the shell, instead of concentrating on one spot. So even as they squeeze harder, it won't break. Now,
Bro, okay, you guys gotta let this one die. I'm not door dashing a paint roller so I can create a toilet paper cannon. Like, that is the most useless invention of all time. I'm not doing an entire DoorDash for a toilet paper cannon. We gotta drop it. Continue the video.
Now, hand an egg to your friend who's wearing a ring. After watching the first person, they'll try squeezing even harder.
Wait, I could test this one. Let me check if I have eggs. Chat, I do not have eggs, and I'm not about to DoorDash eggs. I just checked the refrigerator.
But what they don't know is that their ring focuses all that pressure into one tiny point, meaning they'll get a handful of raw egg.
I'm glad I didn't do that one, bro. I didn't realize there was a troll at the end. I'm gonna have to go down to A tier. Let's go to the next one.
If you slip a ring onto a chain and let it go, it will slide down and fall off.
Okay.
Instead, hold.
Make me a short, I dare you. Bro, what do you mean you dare me? That's like saying, bro, give me $1 million. I dare you. Like, I get nothing out of this. This is not a dare. You just want me to make a short about you, bro. I'm not gonna fall for that trick.
The chain between your thumb and forefinger, with the rest of your fingers curled into a fist, keeping the chain hanging. Then thread it through the ring turned sideways. When you drop it, pull your thumb away to give it a slight spin. As it falls, one edge hits the chain first. That point becomes a pivot, flipping the ring around the chain. The chain slips into a loop and tightens as the ring drops, snagging it mid-fall. And in real time, it looks like magic.
That cannot be real. I would test it if I had a ring or a chain, but I'm not married and I am not a thug. I'm actually just a dork with no wife, so I can't test this, unfortunately. Glaze royal pear now. Dip. Plinier, please, I need this. My mom is kinda homeless. Yo, what is the chat right now? This... Who? Frugator Ninye? Bro, what is going on in this chat? Like, why? I am the shiniest Ninye clone. Congratulations, brother. I know a lot of people have been rooting for the shiniest Ninye clone. That's a very prestigious position. Congratulations on making it to that point in your life, bro. Congratulations. Yeah, I would test this if I could. I can't test this one. I'm gonna do an A tier. Let's go to the next one.
She reached into the toilet,
No, this is gonna be a F tier video.
thinking she could just pull the blockage out. But as her arm went deeper, her watch got caught on the narrow part of the pipe. It squeezed around her wrist, trapping her hand in place.
DoorDash, bro, I'm not DoorDashing every single item to test every single Zack D Films video. And by the way, I'm not testing this one. I'm not going into the toilet and putting my hand into my toilet. And don't say DoorDash a toilet. I know that's incoming.
As she called for help. Responders had to unscrew the entire toilet from the floor. They carried it outside with her still attached. Then they smashed it with a sledgehammer, finally setting her free.
Oh, wow. Great addition to the cartoon Zack D Films, adding dookie stains splattered across her hand and arm. Great addition. I'm glad that the animators added that one. That's going to be an F tier. Let's go to the next one. We are not testing this. We're not DoorDashing a toilet. We are not DoorDashing a paint roller. We are not DoorDashing... What even was the other one? A chain and a ring? Bro, no. We're going to the next one.
Tiny lines are cut into the egg and filled with...
And we're not DoorDashing eggs either.
Plaster before they're sanded smooth and painted so the cracks are invisible. The eggs are placed on a metal countertop, heated by propane burners with small air tubes hidden underneath the table.
Bro, Bro, what are they doing this for? This is like literally Walter White.
When filming starts, compressed air blasts up through the tubes, making the eggs shake and bounce. And as the pressure builds, the shells split along the hidden cuts, spilling the yolks. And since the counter is heated from
Yo, this is the most use. Maybe it comes together at the end, but so far it's like, why would you do this?
below, the eggs start frying on camera, making it look like something invisible is attacking the kitchen.
Wow. Bro, that is a tutorial for the most useless scenario. Yeah, that's going to be an A tier. I'm not going to lie, it was fascinating, but I don't know what the utility of this is. Let's go to the next one.
As he swallowed the coffee berries, his stomach dissolved the soft fruit, while the hard bean stayed intact, and it was
Bro, I feel like my face cam can be larger. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. Let us proceed.
fermented by his stomach acid
Wait, what? He made coffee from his own poop? All right. Incoming F tier.
before he pooped it out. Then he collected the beans. After cleaning and roasting them, he posted them for sale on Craigslist, and they sold out quickly. The same method
Bro, how did they sell out quickly?
is used with civets to make the most expensive coffee in the world. So people were excited to drink poop coffee made by a human. And even though some didn't like the taste, he still had 40 people on his waiting list.
Chat, if I made poo coffee, would you guys buy it? Yes or no? Let's run the poll. Listen, there might be a new business opportunity here. Would you, if I attempted this Zack D Films short and I made poo coffee, are you guys buying it? Wow. 63% yes is actually foul. That was a trick question. You guys are nasty. That was a trick question. You guys are actually disgusting. Good job outing yourself. Stupidest chat on planet Earth. Outsmarted. That one's going to be an F tier. Let's go to the next one.
The car's body was cut in half, and two mini bikes were split down the middle. Their frames were welded inside the car, while their motors were reattached.
Bro, they're making motorcycles out of cars.
When the halves were together, it looked like a normal car. But when they filmed the chase scene, a lever was pulled, which split the car into two separate vehicles. Each one had its own steering, allowing the drivers to dodge pedestrians.
Yo, that is so sick. I'm not door dashing a car. Bro, I'm not door dashing a car. I don't even think that's possible. What do you mean test this? I can't test this. What would I need? A massive saw, two motorcycles, a car, and a soldering iron, bro? I need a welding kit. Bro,
And escape down an alley too big for the police car. The car's
wow. I would like to see this. Where's the real life version of this? Hold on. Let me check the comments. In case you were wondering, oh, you can't see the comment. In case you were wondering, this is from the film Malcolm, produced in 1986. Hold on, bro. I gotta look up the Malcolm car. All right, that's Malcolm in the Middle. I don't think that's what we're going for here. Malcolm car. Malcolm's car, season 6, episode 9. Yeah, I don't think that this is what it is. I don't think it's Malcolm in the Middle's car. Bro, I think we might be on the wrong lead. What year did he... Oops. What year did he say it was from?
The car's body.
1986. Malcolm car movie 1986. Yo. It really does split in half. That is so sick. It really exists. All right, let's go to the next one.
His head.
Hold on, chat. I have to go pee. I have to pee. I have to pee. All right, so while I was peeing, I was reading comments, and I read a comment that I need to expose right here live. This guy's name is Che N Scholler 1212. Commented, when bro said wallahi bombaclat, that was the most not tough thing. Listen, I'm about to ban you right now. Remove. Bro, you do not disrespect the bombaclat wallahi. Let's continue this video.
Head would retract like a turtle, dodging the
Okay, I did not expect that.
incoming punch. Now, for that to work, your neck would fold into a tight curve, using new joints that let your spine bend without breaking. At the same time, strong muscles would pull your skull straight down like cables, and your shoulders would shift forward, making space
DoorDash ahead, really? No, you guys are just trolling at this point.
for your head to slide in.
What do you
Now,
mean
your
DoorDash
chest would have
ahead?
to somehow open up inside.
I'm not, bro, look at the anatomy we're witnessing right here. If I tested this, I would die right now. You guys would witness me collapse and die if I tested this. We can't, some of these things are not testable.
So your skull has somewhere to go, at which point you could duck your head super fast and avoid getting hit.
I'm not gonna lie, that one is kind of funny though. A little bit gross, admittedly, but I'm gonna get A tier. That's an A tier, Zack D Films, and we got a a donation from you. Guess who's at 1,000 views and 10 more subs, bro? You're not beating me in subs, brother. You gotta let that one rest, bro. You're not get. This guy said, if I beat you in subs, can I date your mom? He said that last stream. Bro, just let it go. You're not going to win. Let's go to the next one.
The blade is wrapped tightly with fabric.
Pattern recognition check. This is the rarest kids in high school. Watch. You may be questioning, how did he recognize that immediately? The rarest types of kids in high school. Kid with the massive backpack. Can we load it? Can we load the video? Can we load the video? Can we load the video? The rarest type. Bang. I used it for the intro here. The rarest type. I think we're about to witness this in Zack D
And
Films.
soaked in fuel. Next, it's put into a metal sheath with a flint.
Bro, what are the odds that he makes this video and I watch this one that's on my video? Bro's own video? Yes, bro. I remember the videos I make. It's not that hard. DoorDash a katana.
And as the blade is drawn out, the flint is struck by hand, producing sparks that light the fuel instantly. Now, the fabric doesn't burn away, only the fuel does. So as the sword swings through the air, the fuel whips around with it, leaving streaks of flame behind. To put it out, the burning blade is slid back into the sheath, cutting off oxygen until the fire dies.
So sick, bro. I might be biased because I have a personal vendetta against this video because it's in my own, but I'm gonna have to get that one at A tier. S. That's a S tier. Let's go to the next.
When they remove
That's just so cool, bro. A sword on fire is so cool.
the feeding tube from the mosquito, it was hollow and straight, but it was too fragile to use directly. So they coated it with resin to make it stronger and attached it to a needle tip. Then they built a 3D printer around it, and as ink flowed through the tube, it printed lines finer than a grain of sand,
What?
letting them build tiny structures most printers could never make, all thanks to a mosquito.
Do they really use mosquitoes for 3D printers? Wow. That is interesting. Yeah, we're not DoorDashing a mosquito, bro. We're not DoorDashing a mosquito and killing it to test this. I don't even have a 3D printer. That one's interesting, though. I'm inclined to maybe even give that an S tier. I love the application of biology and technology. Albert and Einstein here. I'm going to have to give that one an A tier, though. Let's go to the next.
Drop down onto your hands and feet
I can't wait to date your mom because you going down. Okay, bro.
before leaning forward and running like an animal. Since you have 4 points hitting the ground instead of just 2, there are more chances to push off and build speed. Because running fast isn't just about moving your legs quickly, it's about how hard you push while touching the ground.
Oh.
So, if you time it just right, your arms and legs could add more force with every step, allowing you to run faster.
There's no way you can run faster on all fours. Or else people would just be doing that. Like, that DoorDash runner. Okay, yeah. Okay. You guys are just going to spam that every single video I watch. DoorDash an elephant. DoorDash a house. DoorDash a car. DoorDash a person. Bro. Play Amazing Frog? Why did you put a question mark on that? What is Amazing Frog? I did not mean to print that. What is Amazing Frog? Bro, what is this? Why do you want me to play this game? This looks like the most random game. Amazing Frog? I think I might be good. The Amazing Frog book for kids. All right. I think I'm good, but thank you for the donation. I appreciate the donation, bro. Classic game. Oh, people know that one? Bro, we're not DoorDashing Amazing Frog, bro. It's not even a Zack D Films video. You guys are just going to say that to everything. Listen. I only let myself DoorDash 2 times a day, and I've already done both of them today. I can't DoorDash anymore. These are the rules. Let's go to the next one.
If you stick a metal rod into the ground and run electricity through it, the current would move through.
Ninja DoorDash me. Really? Cool Pineapple 4000. Bro, I'm not gonna DoorDash.
Through the wet soil before zapping a worm. And this forces them to escape by wriggling to the surface. Now, if you had 500 trillion of these devices, you could cover the surface of the Earth. And with 130 million nuclear power plants, you could send enough electricity into the ground to pull up every single earthworm, covering the world in a layer of wriggling pink worms.
This is the chinchilla. No, bro. This is the 3rd chinchilla sighting in Zack D Films. I swear he's just doing it to troll me now. Why do they keep putting this chinchilla in the videos? I'm gonna have to get this one at A tier, though. I find it interesting. Bro donated. I'm DoorDashing Ninja's mom. Bro, DoorDash is not just like a machine that creates any product you want. They don't have literally everything on DoorDash. You can't just DoorDash anything you want and it just spawns in the car. That's not how it works. My mom is not an option on DoorDash. Let's go to the next one.
Thin holes are drilled into the gold bar before
Dragon Boy donating free money at this point. Bro, you're so right, bro. Every time it's 2 Canadian dollars to say the most. Okay, I'm not gonna DoorDash a chinchilla, bro. Okay.
Thin holes are drilled into the gold bar before tungsten rods are pushed inside. And after the surface is patched back up, it looks and weighs just like any other gold bar.
Guys, I think I have a new business idea.
You see, tungsten weighs almost the exact same as gold, so counterfeiters use these to trick customers.
Oh, but you can probably test it by bending the metal, since gold is very malleable and tungsten is very, solid.
But if the bar is passed through an ultrasound check, the waves hit the tungsten differently, revealing the scam.
Bro, we gotta start selling tungsten rods and gold bars to people. That's gotta be a big business. I'm gonna have to get this one at A tier. I love a good scam. Let's go to the next one. We are not DoorDashing a DoorDash.
When you spray a German cockroach with poison, a special enzyme inside its body breaks down the chemicals before they can damage the roach's nerves, meaning the poison doesn't work. And if that roach lays eggs, many of their babies will inherit the same protection. Within months, those babies will have more babies, and eventually, most of the colony is safe from the poison. Now, a whole new group can survive the same poison and even stronger chemicals until you're left with roaches
Yo, what are they spraying?
that nothing can kill except a stomp. When you
Really? So cockroaches are so powerful because they're immune to bacteria and sprays. You have to stomp on them to kill them. That makes sense. I do not like cockroaches. I do not like cockroaches. I'm gonna give that one a B tier. Nasty cockroaches.
If you plucked
All right, Jake. You donated $2 to say hi. Hey, hello. Hello. W donation, bro. The bald paradox explained. Okay, I'm very excited to find out what the bald paradox is. Let's proceed.
one single hair off Robert's head, he would look exactly the same. Now imagine you pluck another, and soon you've taken dozens, maybe even 100. But Robert still looks normal. Now his hair might be slightly thinner, but no one would say he's bald. So you keep going. Hundreds turn into thousands. Now Robert's scalp is starting to peek through. People might say he's thinning, but he still wouldn't quite be bald.
No, that's cope, bro. You're balding at this point. Once you get to a certain point, you just gotta go bald. Like, I'm sick of seeing 40, 50 plus year old unks, and they've got like a ring around their head in nothing else. Like, the whole top is gone. It's like, bro, just give it up at that point. You are bald, accept it.
So what if you keep plucking until only 1,000 hairs remain? Well, at some point, he starts to be bald. But where exactly is that point? Some people say it's 0 hairs, which is indeed bald, but if you add 1 single hair, he's still bald. Even 10 hairs wouldn't make a difference. So where is the line? At what exact number of hairs does Robert stop being bald?
That's actually very thought-provoking. When is bald truly bald? I never thought about this. I think that once you can see... Hold on. Isn't there a scale for this? No, there's a diagram for this. Hold up. Pull up the diagram. I also noticed 2 donations. I gotta read the 2 donations. Not to you, to me. Okay, bro. I don't remember the last donation you sent. Hold on. I can look at your activity. I don't understand the context of that. Yeah, bro, I don't remember. I'm unfortunately sorry. DoorDash me can find on top. DoorDash, bro, this guy had a stroke donating that. You're not getting Taco Bell from me, buddy. You're not getting Taco Bell from me. Yeah, bro, haircut chopped. You're right. You're very correct on that assessment. I'm gonna have to get that one at S tier. What's that one? What's the scale of baldness? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? It is a scale diagram of baldness. The Norwood scale. This is what I was thinking of. I feel like, hold on, let me bring it up big. I feel like by the time you get to like 6 on the Norwood scale, you're officially bald. Like, as soon as the hairline, there's no more hairline here. Like, I wouldn't say 5 is bald, 6 is bald. Once that is like an open field on your head, you're bald. That's what I think. That's my answer to the bald paradox. As soon as the hairline connects to, like the top connects to this, bang, that's bald. Let's go to the next one.
He would slide the arrow into the tube, then hide it in his sleeve. Inside the tube sat a compressed spring, held back by a small trigger. And when he flicked his wrist and pressed the trigger, the spring snapped forward, and the arrow shot straight out of his sleeve. Now, some versions had 2 barrels to fire twice in a row, and others even had multiple tubes to launch
How did they invent these things back in like ancient China?
several at once, allowing you to shoot from close range while the weapon stays hidden.
Wow. Is that a real technology?
He would slide the arrow.
That is actually interesting. I'm gonna have to get that one at A tier. That was fascinating. Are you bald, buddy? What does it look like to you? Am I bald? Do you see? Bro, I'm far from bald. I need a haircut right now. Like, look at all this hair that I have. I gotta get my summer haircut, bro. I'm not bald. Let's go to the next one.
They kidnapped the musician, according to the story. And when they arrived, he realized he was at the headquarters.
Aww. Why is he so cute, bro? Why is he the most cute guy ever?
He was at the headquarters of a mafia boss who happened to love his music. So he was forced to play piano for the mobster's birthday. But according to him, he was showered with money and poured glass after glass of expensive champagne. After 3 days of performing, he was let go with his pockets stuffed full of cash and a great story.
Wow. I like that story. That's a good story. I'm gonna give that one an S tier. Simply because I'm glad that this guy won at the end of it. Like, bro is the most cutest guy I've ever seen. And just look at his little strut.
It's stuffed full of cash.
So cute, bro. I literally want to order this guy on DoorDash and have him live in my house. Let's go to the next one.
Wrap the cable around Mount Fuji's base before the massive motors pull it tight, which will separate billions of tons of rock from the bedrock below. Then drill thousands of deep shafts, driving giant steel anchors deep into the rock, and pump grout to lock them into the mountain's core before wrapping the outside with steel mesh and massive
Bro, what are we doing? This is insane.
Bands. Then use a ring of rockets and cables to lift the entire thing and turn it in the air by adjusting the cable lengths. Once it's flipped, carve a giant hole in the bottom and attach a frictionless bearing inside before threading
They're turning it into a Beyblade. What?
a cord into the hole and locking it into the shaft. Then connect the cord to thousands of fighter jets that will pull it to make the mountain spin.
Bro, that is the most insane hypothetical Zack D films short of all time. That's got to be an S+ tier. That was the most outlandish, gargantuan, oversized, monumentous, presidential video I've ever seen. Holy. I love these ones so much, bro. Just the insane hypothetical situations. They're so sick, bro. That was a hit. I'm going to like that video too. Let's go to the next one.
They glued the dead snail to a museum card before putting it on display.
Wait, didn't I watch this one already?
They pried the mirror off.
Yes, okay, we've caught up with the new ones for today. So now we got to go back to his channel and find where I left off after I watched all of these. Okay. That's going to require some memory. Let's see. Did I watch these ones? Did I watch? I did. I remember this was the most realistic man in all of Zack D films. I remember that guy's face. So I have watched all these. Let's see. Oh, yeah. I watched Abraham Lincoln, I think. The Fake Cop. Wait, I might have not watched these ones. Oh, no. I remember the Batman one. Okay. You know what? Why don't I just go to my channel and pull up the VOD? Then I can look at exactly what the last one I watched was. Let me just pull up the VOD. Where's the what was the last one that we watched? Oh god. It was How Did a Man Trade a Paperclip for a House? That's what it was. Okay. So now we just need to find the paperclip one. Now, is that past this? Oh, God. This might be harder than I thought. Paperclip for a house. Okay, I remember these ones. Paperclip for a house. Okay, I remember that. And I remember this too. Okay, I remember all of these. The turtle, I remember that one. The largest diamond ever found, I remember that one. The monkey selfie. Oh, how could I forget the monkey selfie? Okay, I definitely watched all of these ones. Oh, yeah, the camels with the Botox. Yes, I remember that one as well. Oh, yeah. Oh, we're close to it. These are the last ones I remember. Paperclip, 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 paperclip. Oh, how did this man trade a house for a paperclip? Okay, so we are on this video.
They broke into the... When she died, her sons... Would you rather stand...
Yo,
when she died, they would pull out the motor, the fly lay... They would pull out... Would you rather... When she died, when the pin... He laid down, he arched his back. If you... He was killed. If you're dead... He claimed... If you shoved the... He filled the back. They would pack and... They broke in.
Okay, this is the paperclip one.
They broke...
So we're on this video. Got it. That took a little bit of IQ to get through. YouTube Shorts is so glitchy. I know. Like, you literally click on one. It, like, zooms you past 10 videos. And then you got to find the one you clicked on. I don't know why. I don't know why it's like that. All right. Why police could not convince these identical twins. Wait, the title's a little long. Oh, convict. Why the police could not convict these identical twins. All right, lock in.
Into the jewelry store, smashing cases and stealing millions in jewels. But police found a glove left behind with DNA inside, and it matched to a pair of identical twin brothers. Now, identical twins...
Why are these dudes so cute too? Just like the last one. Like, bro, he's got the most beautiful, mother-loving eyes I've ever seen. Wow.
Now, identical twins share almost exactly the same DNA, so the test could only say that one of them did it, but not which one. And without clear proof tying it to one twin, they couldn't be convicted, so both were released.
No way. Bro, if you have a twin that's identical to you, that is OP. You can literally commit crimes and never get caught if they only have biometric data on you. Holy aura. That's gonna be an A tier.
The blade sliced off the tips of his 2 fingers, and doctor said he would never play guitar again. So he melted plastic from a soap bottle into a lump before pressing his fingers into it. Then he carved 2 fingertip caps while it cooled, but the smooth plastic...
That is so smart.
...slipped off the strings, so he wrapped them in leather from a jacket for grip. Then he switched to lighter banjo strings and loosened the strings so they were easier to hold.
Bro, this guy's a genius.
Down. Over time, he relearned how to play and became one of the most influential guitarists of all time.
Wait, who was he? What guy is this? Tony Lomi. His name is Tony Lomi. I don't know who Tony Lomi is. I never heard of that guy.
Fold the paper crosswise, then open it back up. Then fold each side towards the middle and open it up, lifting the outer flaps diagonally to make 2 wings. Then pull the inner corners down to make a point. Turn it over and fold the point back on itself. Next, pull down the top corners to meet at the middle before folding the triangle back up. Flip it over and pull the peak towards you and fold it in half with the tip inside. Then press the wings down, leaving a small...
You need to watch ASMR. It's the GOAT of YouTube, bro. You are just donating the most random things, like the most miraculous messages ever. What are you talking about? If Zack D films... Ooh, wait. That could be a hit Zack D films short. How does ASMR work? Zack, get on that one.
All space for you to hold before bending the back of each wing. And when you throw it, it'll flap in the air like a real bat.
Wow, I bet that does not work. Let's go to the next one.
She tried to bring a bottle of booze, but the airport security told her it was too big. So she opened it right there and started drinking. She chugged chugged and chugged until the entire
Bro, that has to be illegal. That has to be illegal.
bottle was gone.
Isn't it illegal to drink alcohol in public? Unless you're at a bar or a restaurant?
Then she began shouting, rolling on the floor.
Yo, what is she doing? Not any ASMR, my ASMR. Bro, what is your ASMR? Funny Bro, I am not watching your ASMR, brother. You are scary. Bro, why are you... No. Let's open it back up. Bro, why are you making ASMR? Making a creepy face. Like, are you going to be, like, whispering curses into my ear, brother? I think your ASMR is, like, that's got to be cursed.
Floor, unable to stand up. Staff said she was too drunk and wheeled her away to sober up. Hours later, her family came to get her, and she never boarded the plane.
Yo, what do they call it? Brick for brains? What a dunderhead. Like, why did she even do that? Just throw it away and get on the plane. What are we doing, bro? I'm gonna have to get that one at A tier. Fascinating story.
If you took out a polar bear's liver and ate it, your skin would start to fall off.
Bro, why?
That's because it contains thousands of times more vitamin A than your body can handle, and this would break down your cells. At first, you would just feel nauseous, but then your bones would start to ache. After that, your skin would literally fall apart. Eventually, your brain could swell, causing hallucinations and even death.
What? So if I were to get a vitamin A supplement bottle with capsule, eat the whole thing, I would start having hallucinations and my brain would swell up. Yeah, it's a little bit creepy. I'm gonna have to get that one a C tier. Zack, crazy. Let's go to the next one.
She slipped the poison into a glass of milk to kill her husband. You see, she was...
Someone commented, bro, go to India. Brother, I don't even go to the grocery store. I don't even leave my house.
Forced into the marriage and saw this as her only way out. But he didn't drink it, so it was left out. The next day, his mother
Girl. All right, don't say baddie, bro. We can't start the baddie thing again. If you're trying to poison your husband, brother, you know divorce is an option, right? Like, you don't have to kill people if you don't want to be with them. You can get divorced. Like, that divorce is always on the table if it really gets to that point. But is there a tough anime fight? All right, your donations are confusing me at this point. You're talking about ASMR and then, but is there a tough anime fight? Like, what are we donating about? This guy just gave $5 with no message. Like, if you're going to donate, you should say something. I appreciate the donation at the end of the day. I appreciate it. But also, like, if you have the option to say something, why not say something? Either way, thank you, bro. It kind of is aura to donate with no message. It kind of is. Let us continue.
Used it to make drinks. More than 20 of his relatives drank it together, and people began collapsing.
She literally killed 20 people with poisonous milk?
They were taken to a hospital, and one by one, they died, killing 17 people in total. Police traced the poison back to the milk, and the wife admitted to it, claiming she was just trying to kill one person.
Oh, she was just trying to kill one person. Ah, okay, bro. That's a crazy story. I'm gonna have to get an A tier. Arrest her? Oh my God, that's what I'm saying. Girl, get a divorce, girl. Listen, girl, get a divorce. Bro, let's go to the next one.
He fired the jet's guns while diving fast, but air resistance slowed the bullets'
Oh my God, is he gonna shoot himself?
speed.
Is he traveling faster than the bullet?
And because the jet was traveling super fast, it slammed into its own bullets. They tore through the engine.
How can that even happen? Bro, how is that even possible? Can you just say a random word for no reason? All right. I'm going to say preposterous. Alimony. Preposterous alimony. Thank you for the $5 donation, brother. Let us continue.
Knocking out the power. The jet fell through the air, forcing the pilot to crash land, ending one of the weirdest flight accidents in history.
How did he live?
One of the weirdest
Like, if you're gonna...
forcing the pilot to crash land.
That's insane he didn't die. That one's gonna be an A tier. I didn't even know that was possible.
If you slice open a diaper and collect the powder that falls out,
I didn't even know there was powder in diapers.
you could pour it into a cup and set it beside 2 empty cups. Then, when you add water, the powder absorbs every drop, turning it into a thick gel. So you can have your friend try to follow which cup has the water. And when they guess right, grip the cup and flip it over, completing the trick. Just make sure you clean up the knife and diaper before anyone asks questions.
Interesting. I think that I need to get some diapers. In my ASMR, there is a tough anime fight. All right, bro. You donated like a bajillion times. I will check out your ASMR. Let's see what you're cooking. Atlas ASMR. All right, the video isn't even loading.
Experience of Atlas.
Why did you put hashtag LeBron James, hashtag Goon? I did not mean to click on hashtag Goon. Oh my god.
Welcome to another beautiful experience of Atlas ASMR with Lincoln Bloomer again.
Bro, this short is literally 3 minutes long. This is not ASMR. You're on a school bus.
And on the bus.
Bro, you're trolling me. You're trolling me. Listen, we can't be too distracted. You're trolling at this point. We need to stick to the objective. We need to stick to the objective. We have to get through 1,000 Zack films today. Lock in, bro. We can't be watching your trolling videos. You're wasting my life. Let's go to the next one.
He pressed a wasp stinger against his arm, letting it sting him on purpose. And over the next few years, he did the same thing with over 70 different insects. After each sting, he wrote down how intense the pain was, how long it lasted, and what it felt like. Then he ranked them from least painful to the absolute.
Is this Coyote Peterson? You guys ever see that guy on YouTube where he'll like get stung by bees and whatnot?
Worst, creating his own pain scale, all just to find out which insect sting hurt the most.
I feel like there's got to be an easier way to do that, no? I think that's Coyote Peterson. It is Coyote Peterson. Wow. I can't believe I knew the guy. I'm going to get that one a B tier.
The metal rods are inserted on either side of the jeans, and chains would connect it to a harness of 2 horses. Now, this is what Levi's show on their jean logo to say their
I literally never looked at that. I didn't even know that's what that was.
jeans won't even tear from 2 horses pulling it apart. But when
That can't be true though, right?
they actually tried this, the pants ripped immediately. To fix that, they would need to take the layers from a bulletproof vest and stitch them into the inner lining of the pants, using the tough fiber from sails as threads to make it stronger than steel. Finally, they'd have to paint the surface with resin and harden it with a UV light. Now, this would be pretty uncomfortable to wear, but it would be strong enough to resist getting pulled apart by 2 horses.
Wow, that's got to be false advertising. Bros get their first pair of Levi's and start calling the jeans denim. You ever notice that? Bro will buy Levi's and it's no longer jeans. He goes, let me put on my denims. Like, grow up. They ain't denims, bro. They're jeans. Let's go to the next one. That's going to be an A tier.
When the whale pees, the liquid slowly mixes with the seawater at the surface, and the tiny nutrients inside float around. This creates a trail of fertilizer for plankton to grow, which then feeds millions of tiny krill. These krill are then eaten by fish across the ocean. The plankton also reacts with sunlight to create around half of Earth's oxygen, meaning every time a whale pees, it starts a chain reaction that supports life across the world.
That makes sense because whales are so big. It must be so much pee that comes out of them. I never thought about that. I'm gonna have the other one at A tier. Could be S, but it's gross. I don't want to hear about whale pee. Let's go to the next one.
The water ran through tunnels
Did I
beneath.
double click the counter? I think I misclicked and then clicked it. I don't think I clicked it twice.
The Colosseum and into hidden pipes under the arena. Workers pulled up the wooden floor, leaving a wide open pit below. Then the valves were opened and the water poured through the pipes, filling the basin deep enough for scaled down warships to float. People filled the seats, excitedly watching the men fight from the ships in a deadly battle until most of them had died. When the show
Yo. This is what humans will do when they don't have no YouTube shorts. They will just start killing each other for entertainment. Like, are we so for real?
was over, water rushed out through large drains under the edge and flowed through underground tunnels, emptying the arena within hours. Then workers replaced the wooden floor and spread sand on top, and the Colosseum was ready for the next fight.
That would be so much work to do. Replace the whole floor and put sand? That's actually very fascinating. That must have been a very rare occurrence that they would do that. I'm gonna have to give this one an S tier. I find that interesting. Let's go to the next one.
If a dog loses its whiskers,
Oh, so cute.
the objects around it might seem to disappear, and even familiar rooms would feel as if they changed, which could make the dog scared and confused. You see, dog whiskers aren't just hair, they're actually super sensitive feelers, and each one is connected to a network of nerves at its root. This helps the dog sense movements in the air and even the shape of objects.
What? Dogs are intelligent. I don't even understand that biology.
Now, dogs normally lose a whisker here and there, but losing all of them at once would be like losing another sense.
That's so sad. I'm gonna have to get on an S tier. I did not know that about dogs, and I love dog facts. Gotta respect it. Let's go to the next one.
An oak tree is cut and split into long pieces before being arranged in a circle, with a metal hoop holding them loosely in place. Then a small fire is lit inside, and the wood is sprayed with water. You see, the heat makes the water steam, and the steam softens the wood and makes it flexible. This is so the bottom can be pulled together in a tight circle, giving the barrel its shape. The inside is heated with fire to dry and harden the wood. To close it, round wooden pieces are added to each end, and grooves help them slide in and seal the barrel. Then the outside is sanded, and the wine is poured in. As it rests inside, the wood slowly releases flavor, giving it a unique profile.
Whoa. I'm gonna have to get that one A tier. We're hitting all the marks on this one. Good animation, fascinating storytelling. He explains a process, and he also is making a wood-related video. He loves wood-related videos. I don't know why, but he loves making videos about wood. Zack, you must have loved making this one. Let's go to the next.
When the police arrest you and your partner in crime, they'll give you each a choice. If you both stay silent, you each get 1 year in prison. But if you confess and your partner stays silent,
Wait, I know this.
you walk free, and your partner gets 10 years. Now, the obvious choice is to confess and walk away, while your partner goes to jail. But they're thinking the exact same thing. And if you both confess, you each get 5 years. Meaning the best outcome is if you both stay silent and serve 1 year. But fear pushes you both to confess.
If I was in the prisoner's dilemma, I would free myself. Simple as that. It's a dog eat dog world, fellas. Lock in. We're at number 700. This better be a good one for 700. This better be a good one.
The canned milk and cocoa powder.
Okay. Off the bat, milk. Good sign.
Were poured into the ammunition can, and a propeller was bolted on. Then the can was attached under the plane's wing. Now the pilot wasn't allowed to fly for no reason, so he would pretend to take a test flight, and the wing would move the propeller, which turned a screw inside and mixed the ingredients. When the plane flew high enough, the cold temperatures outside would make the mixture
That's what I was gonna say. It's probably cold too.
freeze. And when the pilot landed, the whole crew would get homemade ice cream.
That's so genius. Oh my god, that one's a hit, bro. That's got to be an A tier, maybe even S tier. I'm gonna give it an A plus tier. That is a good one. That is a good one. Whoa, that was fire. We actually got a good poll for number 700. Let us continue.
He fired
I want to eat airplane ice cream. I wonder what that tastes like.
the puck, and it landed on the goalie's butt, getting stuck in his pants. He turned around to block the net, not knowing the puck was still attached, and backed up into the goal. The second the puck crossed the line, the ref blew the whistle, and the other team had won the game.
That's got to be a disqualification, though. That can't count as a goal.
All thanks to the goalie's butt.
Bro, they really counted that one? Nah, brother. I would be so mad if I was on his team. If I was the guy that hit that, I would be like, that is a generational goal. I'm glad I won that way. So, you know what? Maybe it's all perspective at the end of the day. That one's going to be an S tier. That was a fire one. Let's go to the
When
next
the
one.
baby cried, a hidden
This is creepy. What robot baby? How the robot baby works? What is the robot baby?
When the baby cried, a hidden speaker in its chest would blast the sound for several minutes, while tiny sensors inside recorded your reaction. And you would have to figure out how to make it sleep, just like a real infant. Now the wristband on
Oh, it's baby training.
your arm would hold a Bluetooth connection to the baby, so you couldn't just dump it with someone else. It would also send all of the recorded data to an app, letting your teacher see how well you treated it. You see, students were given these fake babies.
Wait, I've seen this in cartoons. Is this a real assignment that schools used to do? Was just like fake baby training? That seems like, what class is that even for? Biology? I don't even know. I just remember seeing this in cartoons when I was younger on like Cartoon Network. I didn't think that people really did this.
To teach them how difficult raising kids is, but it ended up making them want babies more, and a lot of students actually got pregnant, meaning the program
What?
sort of backfired.
Yo, that is a weird outro. I'm gonna be on a B tier. Let's go to the next one.
Slice the pickles into long strips and pour sugar straight into the pickle jar. Then add in 2 packets of Kool-Aid, turning the juice bright red. Stir until the sugar and powder fully dissolve, then place the pickles back into the jar and put the lid on. Over time, the pickles will absorb the sugary Kool-Aid, and just a few days later, you'll have Kool-Aid flavored pickles.
That's gotta be disgusting. That's gonna be an F tier. Bro. Holy mother of pearl. What should I do for you to watch? Bro, I didn't realize it was you, bro. What is Our House Looped? Okay, I'll look it up. I'll look up what that is. You've donated so many times for me to watch Our House Looped. What is this? Is this gonna be copyright music? Yo, I can't. Okay, I'll watch it with no audio. I will guarantee you I am not about to watch this video for an hour, but I'll just look at what it is. I can't have music though because it's copyrighted music, but it's just a house going into a house. Is this all the... Oh, it changes. Oh. Yeah, bro, I'm not watching this for 10 hours. I appreciate the donation, brother. I don't even know what currency R is. Is that $50? That is insane if that is the case. I appreciate that. But, bro, I'm not going to watch an image of a house for 10 hours. Like, that's not happening. I'm sorry to break it to you. This one's an F tier. Let's go to the next video.
Some key fobs are always sending out a radio signal and never turn off, while your car is constantly listening for it.
So could you just get a key fob that emits the same radio signal, intercepts it, and steal someone's car? Something to think about. Could be a potential business opportunity.
So thieves can use devices that boost the signal coming from the fob and send it to your car outside.
I didn't realize that's what this video was going to be about.
The car thinks the key is right there, so it unlocks and starts, allowing them to steal your car. But metal can block those radio waves, so placing your key fob in a metal box traps the signal inside, keeping thieves locked out.
I don't even know why companies do key fobs. They're so annoying because, like, if you lose your car key fob, you have to order the exact same one again, and it's like $300. Like, that's got to be a scam. I'm gonna give them an 8 tier. I have to go pee. In short, it was like, if you wake up in the middle of the night and suddenly go pee in your toilet too quickly, it will send an electrical signal to your brain that will make you pass out and fall on the ground. I think about that every time I go pee now. It's scary. Let's go to the next one.
Leaned over
Let's continue this old lady
the
one.
page, writing fast. She had already filled 26 other pages, but
Chat, we are opening the Gatorade.
there was nothing on the paper. You see, she was blind and dying, and her last wish was to publish her book. But she couldn't see that the pen ran out of ink. She
Oh my god, what a twist.
handed the pages to her son once she finished, and they were completely
Yo, that is actually depressing. Oh my god.
blank. Now, local police shot
Can you ban me? I got you, bro. Don't worry, I got you. You're now banned. If you watch all of the ASMR later, I will give you foot bro. I don't want your foot pics, bro. I'm not watching that.
shined lights across the paper, and shadows filled each of the tiny grooves left from the pen. So they worked through the pages,
That is so clever.
one letter at a time, and after 5 months, they managed to recover some
5
key-
months?
She leaned
Oh, I did not mean to scroll, my fault. 5 months is so crazy.
months, they managed to recover every word. Her book was finally printed, but she died just hours before it arrived. She leaned
What an unfortunate situation. Is this the real book? Granifer's Legacy? Like, if I look that up, is that a real book? Granifer's Legacy book. It is real. Wait, is this like a popular book? Hold on, let me open Amazon. Let me open Amazon. I'm loading it. This book only has 8 reviews. How does Zack even know about this story? It only has 8 reviews. That's so sad. It was a flop. All right. Well, I'm going to have to give that one an S tier. What a cute
he
story.
filled up the
Excuse me? What just happened?
he said, "Cup your if you tr-" she leaned some,
Okay.
she
Yeah, that one's going to be an S tier story. We're not DoorDashing the book, bro. I don't think they have it on DoorDash. Let's go to the next one. Mods ban Ninja. Bro, I don't think that's possible.
If you tried to cram 8 billion people into one apartment complex, you could only fit about 20,000 of them inside.
Yo, this is a landlord's favorite short. What?
before the building collapsed under its own weight. So how big would it need to be to actually hold everyone on Earth? Well, the structure would have to be made from over 100,000 huge skyscrapers, and it would need to be 12 buildings tall, nearly
Would it not be so cold at the top floor if it's that high up? And you would just constantly hear wind slamming into your windows.
30,000 feet high. Once completed, elevator rides to the top would take hours as it stopped to let people off.
I didn't even consider that as well. This is inefficient.
The people at the top would need oxygen masks because the air up there would be so thin. On the upper floors, clouds could form inside the building, filling the hallways with fog. And the temperature up there would be freezing year-round, forcing city-sized power plants just to keep the rooms warm.
Wow. That is a funny short. That one's going to be an S tier. That one's going to be an S tier. I love a good hypothetical situation short like that. Let's go to the next one.
Bite the top off to expose the sticky inside. Then press a piece of chocolate onto that spot so it stays attached instead of sliding off.
What a
Now
method.
roast the marshmallow with the chocolate. As you turn the stick, the sticky marshmallow holds the chocolate in place and melts directly onto the marshmallow. While it cooks, heat the graham crackers near the fire, then press the marshmallow between the warm crackers before pulling the stick out, giving you a perfectly melted s'more.
Bro likes that a little too much. Holy, look at his face. That must be the method. I'm gonna have to get that one at A tier. I'll have to try that next time I eat a s'more at a campfire. Let's go to the next one.
If you open the windows during a hurricane, would the wind just blow through your house instead of knocking it over? Well, this would only work if your house was just one big room and the wind could pass through. But most houses have hallways and multiple rooms, so debris would just fly in, while the wind makes the air pressure inside build up, which would still destroy your house.
That's anticlimactic. We got to start building houses is one big room so that we are tornado proof. They got to start doing that in Florida. Miami would thrive with that method. I'm going to go on a B tier.
Cup your hands into 2 C shapes as you take a breath. Then press your thumbs back towards your ears and place your fingers along your brow, creating a seal to keep the air from escaping. Then tilt your head down and push air through your nose. This will create an air bubble that gets trapped inside the hand cups, and that air bends light the same way it does above water.
Oh my god. Bro.
So your eyes can focus normally.
Wait, could you not do this? Hear me out. Instead of doing it at your eyes, what if you just did it at your mouth? You make a pocket of air around your mouth and you can breathe underwater. I will do something to make my mommy proud. All right, bro. I'll take your word for it. Go make your mommy proud.
Normally. And when you look through it, the air in the bubble lets your vision work normally, allowing you to see underwater.
That is so cool. No, that's an S tier. That is an S tier short. That one is sick. I never even considered that method. That's so fire. Let's go to the next one.
He sat up his desk at one end of the oval room, and since the walls were curved, sound from the other end bounced off them in a controlled pattern.
That's why they designed the Oval Office in the White House to be an oval so you can't whisper your secrets.
Making it land in one particular spot. Now, legend says he sat there so every whisper would pass over his desk. Then he pretended to sleep while secretly eavesdropping on conversations from across the room, allowing him to stop his opponents before they could act against him.
Okay. If you are an opponent of the United States president, you're not discussing your secret plans in the White House, in the Oval Office where the president is, bro. This seems far-fetched.
And if you stand in that same room today, you can still hear someone whispering from the other side.
Still interesting, though. I'm might give that one a B tier. Let's go to the next one.
He filled up the balloon after being pulled over, and that breath came from deep in his lungs, where alcohol in the blood leaks into the air. The officer would release the air into a glass tube of chemicals, and if the driver had been drinking, the alcohol in his breath would react with those chemicals, and the color would change, giving the police a reason to arrest him.
Wow, Unk police officer method. And what I will do is ask if you can make a short about me, please. She will be so bro. I'm not making a short about no one. Listen, it becomes a chain reaction. If one person says, Ninja, make a short about me, and I do it, that opens the door to everyone saying that. And then that's the only thing I get spammed with. Like, you got to realize there is repercussions. I appreciate the $5 donation, but there is repercussions to doing something like that. So unfortunately, no, I cannot do that. Let's go to the next one. This one's going to get a B tier. Fascinating technology.
If you kept a fox and raised it like a dog, you might think it would make a pretty cool pet. But foxes mark their territory constantly, and their pee contains a chemical similar to skunk spray, which would stink up your home.
That is horrid.
If it gets bored, it would rip holes in your couch and chew up your table, or just jump your fence and escape. Now you could try training it with food, but if you ever punish it, it could bite you, which is why they're banned as pets in over 20 states. And some...
Bro, why are they not banned in Colorado? Wait, no, that's Utah. What are the Mormons doing with these foxes? There's no way. Wow.
In over 20 states, and some people think they're better served as scarves.
Okay, that's morbid. I'm gonna have to give that one a B tier. I want to get a pet fox, though. They got to eliminate the pee smell so that we can start having pet foxes. Let's go to the next.
He left his toddler standing on the street while he grabbed something
China
inside. But when he came back, his son was gone. Weeks passed and they still couldn't find him. His mother never stopped searching. She printed thousands of flyers, still believing he was out there.
Aww.
And over 30 years later, police used facial recognition on an old photo of the boy, and they found him. He had been taken by kidnappers who sold him to another family. He was too young to understand.
How, if you kidnap a child, how do you just go to a random family and you're like, hey, do you want to buy this kid? Like, are they not going to ask further questions? That seems weird.
What was happening, but 32 years later, he finally went home.
Wow. A tier, heartwarming story. That is a cute one. That is an A tier story.
The face lifted off.
What?
As the machine hinged open, while metal
This cannot be real.
frames held the silicone skin in place.
Oh, it's not. Oh, okay. It's not a real person.
Inside, a small puppet sat at a control panel with motors inside of its body, allowing a puppeteer to control its head and limbs. And for close-ups, they built a massive version of the same head, using complex motors to bring it to life. Now, the alien's voice was recorded, then broken up into signals, which told the motors exactly when to move, syncing every jaw and lip motion perfectly to the voice.
That is creepy. I'm gonna give that one a B tier. I've seen better, but I've definitely seen worse. Let's go to the next one.
She got into a bus crash and ended up losing her hands.
Classic losing limbs in a Zack D Films short, alright.
Her prosthetics were heavy and hard to use, so she signed up to get real transplants. And that same day, a man died in a bike
That's gotta be like $1 million. That must be so expensive.
accident. Doctors spent 13 hours attaching his arm to the woman. Now, since the donor was a man, the hands looked masculine and his skin was much darker. But over time, the arms got lighter and they even became slimmer, looking more feminine. Now, doctors think her nerves may have actually changed the muscles, but no one knows for sure why this happened.
Interesting. We don't even know to this day. What a leap of faith she went to get her arms replaced. I'm gonna have to get that one at A tier. That was interesting. We should do that, bro. You're so right. Let's go get our arms chopped off and get some new arms. Let's see what'll happen. You'll just have to pay the $100,000 medical bill, but it's worth it for the experiment.
The paper is soaked in resin before being layered on top of more paper. Then it's clamped between pieces of wood. And after a few days, the liquid...
That had to be Italy. I know a Mediterranean landscape when I see it. That is Italy.
Few days, the liquid hardens and locks every fiber exactly where it is. The hardened paper is then cut into the shape of a knife blade, and the edges are sanded down. Now, its edge is actually made of torn fibers, like microscopic saw teeth. All those tiny edges line up into one stiff surface, and instead of folding, the force goes straight forward, just like a real knife.
That is so sick. What? They turned paper into a knife? No, that's got to be an A tier. No, it's got to be an S tier. That's an S tier short right there. That reminds me of the shorts, or no, the videos where it'll be like some Asian, like Japanese guy, and he'll turn like a raw material into a knife. Those are the coolest videos ever. That is fire. That is an S tier. Let's go to the next one.
They drill a hole and inject alcohol straight into the bamboo plant.
Oh my god. This has got to be a war tactic.
Next, a chopstick is pushed in and snapped off before melted wax is used to seal it. For the next few months, the alcohol stays in the...
This is a fermentation method. Aging the drink in a bamboo. No, that's fire.
Bamboo, soaking up its flavors. And when the bamboo is collected, that section is cut out and sold as a natural bottle.
That's so sick. Oh, I need to get one of these.
Customers crack open the top with a hammer before drinking the liquor inside.
Bro, what? Liquor bamboo? Bro, I gotta get that. I gotta get that.
She slipped the...
Okay, yeah. No,
if you,
this is
he
so
pressed
glitchy. Why did
the metal
it go so
when
high up?
The water.
We got to get back to that one.
If you cut she got he dove in, they drilled.
I need to look up. It's not that cool actually, bro. What? All right. Did I ask you, brother? This is fire. What are you talking about? I need liquor bamboo. Can you buy this? No, not ban book. What? How did that get typed? Bamboo. Shopping. How do you buy it in the bamboo? This is not inside bamboo. Where's the source? Case Elegance bamboo wine. See, this is not what I'm looking for. Does this really exist? Zack, did you lie to me? Ban book? Okay, bro, don't put ban book in the chat. How do Chinese make liquor from bamboo? Wait, this is an IRL one.
Think this person is injecting a vaccine into the bamboo, but in reality, this is a unique method of brewing bamboo liquor in China. The process begins with selecting fresh bamboo stalks that are between...
Okay, this is just an IRL explanation of what we just saw. So we know it's real, but where do you buy it? Where do you purchase this? Bro, this isn't what I don't know. We got to get cold ones on this one. Let's go to the next one. It's going to be an S tier. Let me like that for later.
He dove into the river, causing the plate holding his fake tooth to loosen and slip down into his throat.
Oh no, this is gonna be an F tier. That's gross.
Completely blocking his airway. He began choking, flailing around the water as he tried to breathe. On the bank, another man saw him splashing.
Oh no, they're gonna think he's drowning when that's really not what's happening to him.
And slipping under the water. But he thought the man was just swimming, so he walked away. away. By the time they realized something was wrong, he had already suffocated from the tooth plate and slipped beneath the surface. Hours later, police dragged his body from the river and found the tooth plate lodged deep in his throat.
Yo, this is just how some kid died, bro. What? That's F tier. That is the most depressing and also disgusting way to die. That's a F tier, Zach. We're going to the next one.
The monk would throw the needle at the window, and the balloon behind it would pop. And that makes it seem like the needle went right through the glass. But because the monk throws it at the perfect angle, the tip of the needle actually hits the glass. This concentrates the force into one tiny point, which causes the glass to crack. The needle actually bounces back, while the force keeps traveling forward, and tiny shards of glass are blasted out the other side, piercing the balloon and making it look like the needle went all the way through.
Whoa, that's neat. It's not anything amazing, but it's neat. I'll get on a B tier.
They opened
Let's
their
go to the next
new...
one. Lock in. Hold up. Fellas. The first fictional Zack D Films short of the day. If you do not know, the fiction shorts are the best shorts he makes. Period. You wouldn't think that fiction would be... You'd think it'd be worse because it's not real, but no. He turns these into movies. Lock in, bro. The cleaning robot from hell.
They opened their new cleaning robot, and it picked up its own packaging, using AI to predict and detect messes. It vacuumed spills before they even hit the ground. It nagged Dad about his socks and chased the kids with a feather duster.
Oh God, bro, this is about to take a dark turn.
Became part of the family, until one day it threw their groceries away. Then the dog's bed, then their shoes.
Mess potential eliminated.
It chirped. Then
Collateral. The dog is gonna be collateral damage. Oh no. He's gonna see the dog peeing and pooping and say potential hazard. He could pee. He could make a mess in the house. We gotta eliminate the dog.
the dog
Potential mess eliminated.
vanished. The kids searched and the parents called until they noticed the robot dragging a trash bag. It jingled.
Oh.
And a squeaky toy bounced free.
Mess potential eliminated. Floors secure.
A bloody broken broom laid nearby.
He literally killed it. Rip the dog.
For a second they stared, but when the robot grabbed the handle, they ran.
Further mess potential detected.
They locked themselves in the bedroom, and Dad pulled a shotgun from the closet. Suddenly, the door exploded inward. In the chaos, shots rang out. Everything was a blur. The next morning, there was silence. The house gleamed. Not a stain, not a sock, not a sound.
Oh
Mess potential
my
eliminated.
God. At that point, what is it all for, bro? He's cleaning an empty house. Nah. See, at some point, you gotta realize that you are the mess and eliminate yourself, robot. That was a S tier. That is a S plus tier, bro. Mess potential eliminated, brother. You killed a family. What are we doing, man? This is why we can't let AI take over the world. We can't let robots into the human realm. That is dark. That's gonna be an S plus tier. Wow. Let's go to the next one. Wait. I have to go pee. That looks like your mom. All right. Persians used cats to win a battle. Legend. What's this one about?
Released dozens of cats on the front lines as they faced the Egyptian army. And legend says the
Wait, did I shut my door? Okay, I did. Did you wash your hands, bro? Of course I washed my hands. Oh my gosh. Hussein himself. $14. What a random amount of money. He said, hey, lol. Hey, what's up, bro? Hussein, I'm sorry I didn't reply to your text for a week. I've been watching Zack D films for 6 hours every day. It's not personal. I'm just bad at replying to texts. I actually feel bad. Bro. I'm trying to watch every single Zack D films short. I've been on a very long arc right now. It takes me about 6 hours to watch 300 of them, so you know it's going to take a while. We're learning why Persians use cats to win a battle. Lamau, don't even worry. I know how it gets. Let's go. Thank you, bro. Thank you. All right. Let us proceed.
soldiers hesitated when they saw them. You see, they considered cats sacred and were afraid the gods would strike them down if they caused the
Ninja is stupid. He has 0 IQ. All right. That was a little uncalled for. You swear too much. I don't even... Oh my.
cats any harm. As they tried to avoid them, they got distracted, allowing their enemy to break through their defenses, and the Egyptians lost the battle, all because of a few cats. They released
That cannot be real. I'm gonna give that one an A tier. I don't know if I buy that. Let's go to the next one.
When you fed the machine old documents, it would shred them up before soaking them in water. Once the paper turned
Please replay, bro. You think I'm gonna just replay the whole video for one guy? We're not going back for you, bro. I'm sorry. You can rewind the stream. You know that's an option, right?
mushy, it would be spread thin and dried out.
I joined late. Can you restart, bro? We're 700 shorts deep.
And the sheet would be rolled up into toilet paper for the office. But since the machine cost $100,000, you would need 200,000 rolls just to break even, which is probably why it never caught on. When you fed the machine
Turning old documents into toilet paper, yeah, it's gonna be a D tier. That's a little bit nasty. Let's go to the next one.
they toss the chainsaw by the handle, throwing it up in the air above eye level, while angling it towards their other hand. And before it comes back down, they throw a second chainsaw underneath it, using the other hand, this time in the opposite direction. They grab the handle of the first saw as it falls, keeping their eyes on the second chainsaw in the air instead of looking down. Then, once the second reaches its peak, they throw in a third chainsaw, before tossing the first one with the other hand, freeing it just in time to grab the second saw.
Yeah, we're not testing that one, bro. We're not door dashing a chainsaw. Can we get Sambucha to test this one? That'd be a good video. I don't know how Zack D Films does it, but he has such, like, he just explained juggling, but he did it for 37 seconds in a very entertaining way. That's why he's the GOAT. Yeah, we ain't tasting that one, brother. I'm gonna call that one a B tier. Let's go to the next.
Her backpack was stolen from the ground while she was on the phone, but inside was her beloved teddy bear, which contained a voice message from her mom before she died of cancer. The woman's story went viral, and strangers from all over the world helped spread security footage of the thief, while offering $15,000 for the reward.
That's so much money for a bear.
A few days later, two men saw the footage and recognized the thief. They managed to get the bear back and returned it to the woman, who was finally able to hear her mom's voice again.
That's so sweet. I'm gonna get that one an S tier. What a heartwarming story. I love a good heartwarming Zack D Films tale. Let's go to the next one. S tier.
The snail is pulled from its shell after boiling, then it's thrown into a mixer with the others and spun at high speeds. This removes the slime, leaving only the meat. Next, they're boiled again to kill any bacteria. Meanwhile, the shells are filled with herb butter. And once the snails are done, they're shoved right back in. The butter melts and soaks
Wait, this seemed really gross at the beginning, but now it kind of looks yummy.
into the meat, keeping it moist and turning the snails into a gourmet dish.
Yo, I never ate a snail before. This makes me kind of want to try it. Chat, has anyone tried this before? Escargot? Has anyone tried escargot before? Is it good or no? Alright. Oh, hell nah. I tried this. Is it good? I'm gonna go the one at A tier. Yes, yes, it depends. No, yes, yes, yes. I'm seeing like 70% yeses. It's delicious. Ooh. Can I DoorDash it? I want to try that. That's a fire video. Let's go to the next one.
He
Lock
stepped
in.
inside the old bank vault while exploring, but the door slammed shut behind him. He was seriously trapped inside, surrounded by concrete walls too thick to cut through. Firefighters rushed to free him, but there was no way to break in. So they contacted a former bank worker who somehow still remembered the combination.
Zach, we know that you're farming content with that. You're farming comments with that number. You ain't fooling anyone.
They turned the dial, unlocked the door, and freed the teen after being stuck for hours. He stepped
That one's gonna be an F tier. Are we on God? Bro, look. 4,000 comments on this video. I'm gonna scroll up. There's gonna be a fraction of that on the one above it. Just because you put that number in the video.
the snail.
Okay, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's go to the next one.
He grew all the way to 7'7", and people were so fascinated by his height that they started bidding for his body before he even died. You see, back then, doctors would buy corpses to cut them open and see how they worked. And since the man was so tall, everyone wanted to study his body. But the thought of being hacked up terrified him, so he made his loved ones promise to put him in a lead coffin and bury him at sea, just to ensure no one would take his body. But
Whoa, what? Yo.
after his death, one surgeon offered a lot of money. So his body was taken out and rocks were replaced in the coffin. The surgeon removed the man's skeleton, then put it in his museum, and it remained there until 2023, before it was finally put into storage out of respect.
I'm not gonna lie, why wouldn't he want them to take his bones? Like, who cares you're dead, bro? If you're gonna get a ton of money for your bones, like, you might as well set up your family with that money. I think they made a good call there. Like, bro, I'm not gonna lie. If I was friends with this guy, like, if this was my son and he died and he said that, I'm like, bro, I'm sorry, you're dead, but we're not respecting your wishes. I'm selling you, bro. Like, if it's like millions of dollars, is that a bad thing to say? I'm not gonna lie. That might be evil, but that's my honest opinion. That one's gonna be an A tier. Let's go to the next one. That was fascinating.
The ocean will suddenly pull away from the beach, and fish will be left flapping on the sand. Animals will sense something is wrong and flee. And finally, you'll hear a deep roar as millions of gallons of water form the giant wave. But if you stick around to see it, you'll be crushed as it rushes inland. Instead, move to...
This is a dumb question, but do tsunamis still like happen a lot? I feel like when I was a kid, I thought tsunamis were like very common. And then as I grew up, like, I've never heard about a tsunami happening. I feel like they're rare, unless I just have no idea.
higher ground immediately. If there's no hill nearby, get to the highest floor of a sturdy building and brace for impact as the wave hits. The ocean will suddenly pull...
That's irrelevant to me. Maybe I want to beat here. Every day, tsunamis happen every day. Wow, I guess I'm just not educated Let's go to the next one.
As they cut open his
Test this, bro. How do I test that short? How do I test that? I can't spawn tsunamis.
chest, he started bleeding severely. And to keep him alive, they pumped him full of donated blood, which ended up saving him. Because of this, he promised to donate his blood once he was old enough. Now, when he did start donating, doctors discovered a rare antibody that could prevent diseases during pregnancy. So over the next 50 years, he donated every 2 weeks, enough for over 3 million doses of medicine, which ended up saving 2 million newborn babies, all because of donated blood.
God, that's a S tier. That is a S tier. See, that makes me want to donate my blood. I never done it before, but like, imagine somebody in this chat right now might have the immunity blood to save 2 million babies. That's a S tier. What a heartwarming, wholesome story. I love to hear it. Let's go to the next one.
As the bullet hit the tank,
All right, first gunshot video of the day. I watched like 100 of these yesterday.
fuel would leak out, soaking into layers of rubber built into the tank walls. And one of those layers would begin to swell, expanding inward toward the bullet hole. As it grows, it squeezes until the hole shut, preventing the fuel from leaking out. You see, the tanks used to be metal, and when they were shot, fuel sprayed into the air, turning into a mist that ignited the plane. So engineers used rubber instead, so it seals the hole and the fuel stays inside.
That is so cool. Whoa. A tier. Let's go to the
He
next one.
pulled the teeth out of the deer, then filed them down to the size of human teeth.
Oh God. Okay, if this is going where I think it's going, we got an incoming F tier video.
Next, he used putty to make a denture plate and stuck the teeth to it with household cement. When he stuck them in his mouth, they worked like real dentures. And after cutting up the deer and cooking it, he ate it, using that deer's own teeth
No, this is another level of disrespect. You're eating him with his own teeth. I've never heard of something like this.
to chew through its meat.
No, F tier. Z tier. Z tier short. First Z tier of the day. What in God's name? What is this, bro? That is disgusting. What? Just go to the dentist and get dentures, brother. Unc, you don't need to be using deer teeth in your mouth. That's gotta produce bacteria, mold, and parasites that are gonna eat your insides. Let's go to the next one. Hopefully it is not that bad for the next one.
If your game looks
Messi and Ronaldo chess image. Pattern recognition immediately.
like this, with your bishop in the 4th row and both knights in the 3rd, the enemy bishop will threaten your knight. Move your pawn forward, encouraging the bishop to move out of danger. Then use your knight to capture your opponent's pawn. Now this seems like a stupid move, since the bishop can now take your queen. But if it does,
That edit is sick.
you can move your bishop across the board and next to the enemy king. This forces the king to move one space down, which allows you to move your other knight up. And since there's no escape from the 2 knights and the bishop, you just won the game in less than 10 moves.
That's so sick. Zack D chess tutorials. He's got to make more of these. Like, he could visualize chess tutorials so good. I never thought about that. I'm going to have to get one A tier. That is an A tier video. That one is fire. It didn't perform as well as the other ones, though, judging by the likes. So that's a little bit sad. Underrated Zack D film.
Her claw clip lodged into her
All right. Oh my God. Let me just get off of that visual. Chat, do not say baddie. I know it's incoming. Let's control ourselves today.
Her claw clip lodged into her head as the vehicle rolled over during an accident. The force of the impact caused her head to whip back against a metal bar, and the claw clip pierced
Incoming F tier.
her scalp. She was rushed to the hospital, where doctors discovered the claws embedded deep in her head and the clip completely intact. A medical worker removed the clip, and she survived without any lasting brain damage.
Okay, that's good news, but still, that's gross. Still, that's gross. I'm gonna give that one a C tier. Let's go to the next one.
It has 3 separate floors, stacked as tall as a 6-story building. This is Air Force One, the president's White House in the air. On the main floor, there's
I did never heard about this. The president has a 3-story airplane. How did I never know what this was?
a presidential suite with a bedroom, office, and private bathroom. And down the hall, staff and guests work in offices and lounges. A full medical center sits on board, with a doctor ready for any emergencies mid-flight. 2 kitchens can prepare thousands of meals, feeding up to 100 people at once. And even if it can't land, it can refuel in the air, allowing it to keep flying for days.
Wait. I watched a short. This was probably like 500 Zack D Films shorts behind where they did this, and I was like, that must be fiction. I did not realize it was real. That's insane. 1 second, I just got a text message. I'm gonna have to give this one an A tier. That's just cool. I never knew about that. Let's go to the next.
As he guided the young elephant into her enclosure, she pressed her forehead against him.
Oh no. Started with the sad music, started with the elephant. This one is about to be sad.
And from that moment on, he became responsible for taking care of her. For decades, she followed his voice. And even after he retired, they never forgot each other.
So cute.
So when the man got old and learned that he was dying,
No, they need to bring the elephant into the... If they don't let the elephant enter into the hospital, I'm about to unsubscribe from Zack D Films.
he made one last request. A group of volunteers brought him back to the zoo, wheeling his bed to the enclosure where the elephant instantly recognized him. She reached out her trunk so he could hold it, and after he said his final goodbye to his beloved friend, he passed away just 2 days later.
Wow. That's a S+ tier. That one's so cute. Wow, S+ tier short. That one is so cute. What a heartwarming story. Let's go to the next one. Rare S+.
They carefully cut along the line
Incoming F tier.
of your upper eyelid if you don't have a natural crease. Then the surgeon removes a small amount of skin and fat to make space for the new fold. Next, they stitch the eyelid back together, lining it up to form a clean crease. These stitches stay in place for several days, holding it in position while it heals. As the skin recovers, the fold becomes permanent, giving you a crease.
What? Double eyelid surgery? Okay, first of all, that's a S tier. I mean, an F tier. That's an F. F, 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 F. Secondly, do I need that surgery? Is that... You need it for, like, hooded eyes is what the point of it. Do I have hooded eyes? I don't know. I don't know what my eyes look like. Zack D Films? Let's go to the next one.
As soon as she was
Oh my god, what?
born, doctors couldn't find a pulse and declared her dead. She was taken to the morgue, but her parents wanted to say goodbye. And 12 hours later, they were allowed to see her coffin. But when they pried it open, the frost-covered baby let out a small cry. Doctors
What?
rushed to treat her, saving her life. And no one knows for sure why she seemed dead in the first place.
Oh my god. A tier. That was gonna be bad, but they saved the baby. That's a A tier. They saved the baby. That is such a... Bro, imagine being a baby and you're frozen as well. That would just be so weird. Let's go to the next one.
When a
This one's gonna be a hit. It has over 1 million likes. Holy. What happens when a military dog breaks a tooth?
Military dog breaks a tooth. The damaged parts are removed before the tooth is carefully cleaned and filed down into a
I'm noticing, okay, this is weird. Why did they make it a stump? I'm noticing there's a lot of tooth surgery videos that Zack makes. That's just like a weird niche of content he does. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really a fan. It's a little bit hard to watch.
stump. Next, an impression of the tooth is taken with a special material and sent to a lab, where a block of
More Zack Diff films. Thank you for the $2 donation, brother. I got a lot more to watch.
titanium is shaped into a cap that perfectly fits the tooth. Then, the cap is glued onto the stump with special dental cement to hold it in place. Once it dries, the dog gets a brand new tooth, letting it bite normally again.
Aw, so cute. That's not so bad. I'm gonna want a B tier. Let's go to the next.
He grabbed the necklace, then shoved it into his mouth before swallowing it whole. Now, there was a jeweled egg on this necklace, covered in diamonds, with a tiny gold octopus hidden inside.
That is so sick. I don't blame him for eating that.
When police arrived, the man was arrested and charged with theft, but the egg was still inside his stomach. So an officer sat and watched him, and after 6 days, the man finally pooped the egg out, and once cleaned, it was returned. He grabbed
Yo, he's got to be the worst criminal on earth. I want to know what this looks like. What is the name of this necklace? I guess no one knows. Well, that is disgusting. I'm going to give that one a C tier. Let's go to the next.
New sailors had to crawl across the deck as they crossed the equator, while the crew, dressed in costumes, blasted them with fire hoses at full pressure. Then they were smeared with
Ninye sued my goldfish. All right, bro. You really will just donate to say the most random things imaginable. You can't sue a goldfish. We already learned this from Zack D Films when the monkey took a photo of himself and there's a lawsuit about who owns the copyright of the photo. An animal does not have rights does not have rights. An animal does not have human rights. So you can't sue a goldfish. Listen, I'm the fact guy now. I've watched 1,000 Zack D Films videos. You can't get me with this.
pitch and grease rubbed across their faces until they could barely breathe. After, they were tied to ropes and thrown over the side, dragged through the ocean as the ship kept moving forward, their bodies slamming against the
Hold on. Why are they doing this to this guy?
waves. Even Charles Darwin was blindfolded, coated in filth, and dumped headfirst into a barrel of water. But after years of injuries, deaths, and footage showing how brutal these rituals were, navies finally stepped in, and some banned the violence, only keeping the costumes and ceremony. Today,
This is disgusting. Why are we doing this?
cruise ships keep the costumes, but passengers just kiss a frozen fish and get covered in slime.
Yo, people are so weird. That's gonna be a B tier. 744 Zack D Films, actually not 1,000. Correction, 745. Let's go to the next.
He placed the turtle into a bowl because he wasn't allowed to own a dog or a cat. So he collected turtles instead. He named
Cute.
every one and put them in a tin castle. But the turtles kept dying, so he turned each death into a story. Knights, kings, and rulers fighting for power. The
This is sick.
boy began writing about these adventures, and they eventually turned into one of the biggest fantasy stories of all time.
What? That's the lore behind Game of Thrones? He had turtles that kept... Oh my god. That's got to be an S tier. That is cinema. I did not know that lore. That is so sick. What? What a twist at the end. No, that's fire. Let's go to the next one. That's a S tier.
He hung up a stick with a lead ball on each end and two larger balls next to them. Then he locked them behind 2-foot thick walls to make sure the air was perfectly still. Using a pair of telescopes, he watched through tiny holes and saw that the smaller balls were attracted to the larger ones because of a tiny gravitational force. He measured how quickly they moved, which told him the strength of the gravity between them. Now, he knew how fast gravity pulled objects toward Earth, and he knew the size of the Earth, just not the density. So he used the size and weight of the balls and the force of gravity between them to scale the numbers up, which gave him the Earth's density. And his calculations were almost exactly right.
That is insane how people can figure that math out. Some people are just really smart, aren't they? I'm gonna that one at A tier. Let's go to the next one.
They shot the whale in the head and dragged it to land. But as they carved through the carcass, they found a second harpoon buried deep inside its blubber.
This poor whale has been shot twice.
Experts realized it was over 100 years old.
What? That is so cool.
And marked with 6 carved notches, meaning it probably belonged to an Inuit hunter. Over a century earlier, they shot the whale in the neck, and even though the tip of the harpoon exploded, it wasn't deep enough to kill the whale. It got away, carrying the harpoon with it until 100 years later when it was shot again.
Wow. Holy aura. That one's S tier. What a cool story.
They closed the cockpit
It is sad that they killed the whale, though. I will say.
curtains so the pilot couldn't see, even though he had a plane full of passengers. And they did this because he had bet his first officer that he could land without being able to see.
Yo, this guy's gotta be the dumbest dude of all time. What kind of bet is this? Like, people's lives depend on you. No. No. That's so stupid. I thought it was like a hijacking. It's just a bet.
Using only the plane's instruments, he approached the runway, but he was going way too fast. Air traffic control told him to abandon the landing, but he ignored them and kept going. As soon as the wheels hit the tarmac, the plane flipped. It caught fire, killing 70 of the 94 passengers. And
Wow. 70 of 94 is kind of crazy. I thought everyone would be dead.
somehow, the pilot who caused it all survived. He served just 6 years in
Only 6?
prison before he was released.
No. He's got to go in for life, bro. Put him in for life. That is a F tier. Brother should not have been one of the survivors. Let's go to the next one.
The farmer's only horse ran away, leaving him
Mass murderer, by the way, literally. Like, that should be a mass murderer.
The farmer's only horse ran away, leaving him with no way to work. And the villagers told him how unlucky he was. But the farmer just said, maybe. A few days later, the horse returned, bringing 5 wild horses with it. Now, everyone said it was incredible luck. The farmer simply replied, maybe. Later that week, the farmer's son tried to ride one of the wild horses, but it kicked him off and broke his leg. The villagers rushed over, saying how awful it was. The farmer said, maybe. A month later, the army came to take young men to fight in the deadly war, but they left his son behind because of the broken leg. The villagers again told the farmer he had such good luck. The farmer just said, maybe, because he knew the only difference between a blessing and a curse is timing. The farmer
Whoa. W wisdom. The only difference between a blessing and a curse is timing. Wow. Let that be known. Do not beat yourself up over a bad situation. You never know if it'll turn out to be a good one long term. And you gotta realize too, humans have a natural inclination towards negative things. We have a cognitive bias towards negativity. If you keep that in mind, and this in mind, bro, that is W wisdom. Let's go to the next one. And that is a S tier.
inject the marinade deep into the meat and rub seasoning inside the body to add flavor. Then plop it in salty water overnight. The next day, place the
Bro got so unlucky his third leg broke. Third leg? Excuse me? Are you speaking of his dick? Yo, thank you for the $10 donation, though. Much appreciated. But, like, bro, third leg, do you realize what that means? Let's continue the pig one.
The pig onto the bottom
This is not an S plus tier.
of the rotisserie rack and cover it with oil and salt so the skin gets crispy. Attach the top of the basket and make sure the clamp holds the pig tightly in place. As it slowly turns, the meat will cook evenly, and when the skin becomes crispy, pull it off the grill and dig in. Inject
All right. You know what? That's kind of cool, but, like, you kind of displayed it in a grotesque manner, Zach. I've dock a few points from it. We're going to call that a C tier. Let's go to the next.
She shot a gun at the president, but missed. And just as she raised the gun to fire again, a Marine veteran grabbed her by the arm. The bullet hit the pavement instead, sparing the president's life. And the Marine was called a hero. The president even wrote him a thank you letter. But when journalists discovered he was gay, the news spread all over the country, and when his family found out, they immediately disowned him.
Oh my god, what?
He died alone in his apartment years later, with the thank you letter still framed on his wall.
Bro, that is so unfair. What the hell? No, that I did not know that story. 1975, that's not even that long ago, too. That's only like 50 years. Like, people are alive from 1975 and they still vote. That's crazy, bro. That is just a dark reminder of the world we live in. I'm gonna have to give that one a C tier. That was depressing. L people, let us go to the next one.
He attached a motor to an aluminum plate, then added a tube packed with CO2 cartridges. A four-way hook was pushed into the tube, which was connected to a long, sturdy string, and the whole thing was strapped to his wrist. When he fired the device, the CO2 burst, shooting the hook up into the air. And once it attached itself to a ceiling beam, he used a thumb to trigger the motor. This wound the string back up and pulled him into the air. He attached a
Where can I purchase this? That is cool. I'm gonna give that one a B tier. Wait, Zach literally at build_IRL made it. Go check out his channel. Oh, so I guess I can't probably buy it then, huh? I probably cannot buy this. Build IRL. This guy literally built a grappling hook. Engineering a real... Wait, I gotta see how this works. This one has more views. I'm gonna do this one. Whoa. What?
That moment, right there.
Okay, this has gotta get bumped up. That's gotta be an A tier. That is so sick. What? That is at A tier. Let's go to the next one.
The prisoners were forced to sit in front of computers to play online games for hours, but they weren't playing for fun. Instead, they were forced to play the same parts over and over just to earn points inside the games.
They are farming RuneScape. I can tell this is RuneScape. They're farming RuneScape gold with prisoners. This has got to be in Indonesia. This has got to be in Indonesia. I've heard about this in Indonesia.
And that game money was secretly sold online to other players for real cash. The guards kept the profits, while the prisoners got nothing. And if someone slowed down, they were beaten.
Oh my god. That, honestly though, if you are in prison, farming a video game probably is better than anything else you could be doing. So I'm gonna get that on an A tier. What a cool story.
If you took out your stomach and replaced it with a cow's,
Incoming S tier. I mean F.
Could you eat and digest grass just like a cow? Well, your abdomen would swell to the size of a water heater. And that's because cow stomachs actually have 4 chambers. You would have to eat several pounds of grass a day, chewing it and swallowing it, then burping it back up to chew again. And all that grass sitting in one of your stomachs would create about 50 gallons of methane gas every day. So if everyone on the planet had their stomachs replaced, the sky would be flooded with methane gas as everyone farted and burped it out, trapping heat inside the planet. Ice would melt, causing seas to rise, and the weather would spiral out of control.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Bro, this has got to be F tier. You're telling me, is it in the Z tier? This has got to be a Z tier, bro. It would end the world if everyone was a cow because we would fart so much. It would destroy the ozone and cause the ice caps to melt. No, bro, that is insane, Zack. Get it together. Let's go to the next one.
The serial killer wrote a letter to the newspaper promising that everyone who played jazz at
That was a good transition.
midnight would live. You see, for months, this axe murderer had been killing people in their sleep before disappearing without a trace. 6 people died this way, while others were left with shattered skulls. So when this letter came, people took it seriously. This led to bands playing in bars and jazz echoing through homes. Its rhythms filled the streets, even as fear still lingered in the air. And just for that night, no one was killed. People thought the terror had come to an end, but a few days later, he murdered 3 more before vanishing forever.
It's really crazy how back in the day you could just be a murderer and get away with it so easily. That one's gonna be an A tier. What a weird story.
They curved the stone step slightly upward as they laid it, and tilted the columns inward instead of standing them straight. They made each column swell in the middle and tightened the spacing around the corners. Now, some believe they did this because your brain slightly bends long, perfectly straight lines, and tall columns end up looking thinner and bowed. So, if the temple were built perfectly straight, it would look warped and uneven to human eyes. So the builders bent the temple on purpose, just so it would appear perfectly straight.
What? That is so much extra work for nothing. That's gonna be an A tier though, because how did they have the technology to know how to do that back in the day? It's impressive.
As his eyes split apart, one scanned the left page and the other read the right, meaning he could read both pages at the same time.
No. That can't be real.
This was possible because the 2 halves of his brain were never connected, so each side learned to understand language on its own. By the end of his life, he had memorized over 12,000 books, almost word for word. But since the halves weren't connected, he struggled with simple tasks that required both sides, like buttoning a shirt.
That's so weird. That is still, even if he didn't have that superpower, that would be so like, reading that many books is not easy to do. I'm gonna have to get this one an A tier. Let's go to the next one.
He added each piece together,
Classic prosthetic arm.
then slid the finished plastic hand onto his arm, and the plastic fingers curled closed. You see, years earlier, when he lost his arm, the prosthetics were just too expensive. So he found designs online and started printing a hand piece by piece. Motors and wires were packed inside the palm and wrist, and sensors pressed against his arm. So when his muscles moved, the hand moved too. Now, the grip was weak, and the motors overheated after just 15 minutes.
Bro, why are you guys spamming so much? You guys are so annoying. Everybody needs to die in this chat. You all need to die that are spamming. Nah, bro. I need to get a moderator. This is actually gonna rage bait me. Who's gonna be the moderator? Who's gonna be the moderator? I need someone who I've seen their name a lot of times in the chat so far. Nah, you guys need to die. You guys need to die. Who's that one guy that keeps donating? He would be a good pick. No, because now, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Because now everyone's just going to be begging for moderator all stream. I just created an even worse problem. Oh God, why did I do that? All right, we're just going to continue.
Minutes, but it could still hold a cup just fine. He added,
I didn't even realize what that one was. I'm just going to give it a C tier.
the fireball shot across the sky before landing with a loud thump, setting off almost a dozen fires. Authorities rushed to block off the area, but some locals claimed to see a big metal object, shaped just like an acorn. One man even said it was covered in a strange language, and that it was quickly taken away. Now, some say NASA investigated the site and claimed they found nothing. Then the case file mysteriously disappeared, and to this day, no one knows if it was a meteor, a fallen satellite, or an alien spaceship crashing to Earth.
Cap. I'm going to call that one a C tier. That's got to be cap. I got to go pee again. Let's continue. He stopped a wildfire with just a water pitcher.
Stood his ground even as his neighbors fled from the roaring wall of fire. Police told everyone to leave, but he knew that homes
I banned like half the chat. I respect your grind, brother. I respect your grind. Thank you. You're saving my life right now.
usually catch fire from tiny embers. So he ripped the filters out of 2 water pitchers and dumped water on his wooden fence and the surrounding dry ground to prevent the flames from finding fuel. As the burning embers caught his neighbors' houses on fire, he drowned them as they fell around his yard before they could turn into small fires. And he did this for
what a hero.
hours until the fire finally passed. The homes across the street were ashes, but his house was still standing.
W guy. I'm gonna give that one a B tier. What a cool guy. Some people just have pure hearts.
The stray bullet struck him in the head, but he shrugged it off and kept on partying. He didn't even realize he had been shot. That night, he went swimming and even traveled over 200 miles, feeling totally fine. But a few days later, his arm started twitching uncontrollably. Confused, he rushed to the hospital, where doctors discovered the bullet. But it just happened to miss the vital areas of his brain, meaning he was okay.
This was the same as another short. Yesterday, there was a one about a guy getting shot with a bullet in war. It went right here, and it literally just stayed in his brain forever. I don't know how that happens, but I guess it happens. I'm gonna have to give that one. What did Ninja drink, bro? It's my electrolyte solution, bro. It's my electrolyte solution. All right. 3 days of watching Zack. This is my first time picking up on one of your streams, but 3 days is insane. I know, bro. I appreciate the donation. Thank you. But yes, I've been watching Zack D films like a full-time job. I've been doing 6 hours every day, bro. I'm trying to get through all of them. It is a grind, but low key, I kind of like it. He makes good shorts. Anyways, this one's gonna be a B tier. Let's go to the next.
As it walked across the ceiling, the raccoon suddenly fell through, crashing into a liquor store that happened to be closed.
No way he's gonna drink it all. This one might just be funny.
It wandered around, knocking bottles off the shelf, and each time it did, the raccoon drank from the puddles on the floor.
God.
It slurped up hundreds of dollars worth of bottom shelf spirits, and since the store was closed overnight, it did this for hours.
It's gonna die. It's gonna get alcohol poisoning and die, bro. What? Bro.
Getting more and more drunk. Finally, it stumbled into the bathroom before collapsing on the floor. And when they found
that's good. That is good. It didn't die from alcohol poisoning because it passed out.
it the next morning, it was face down next to the toilet. They took it in and let it sleep off its hangover before finally releasing it into the wild.
Wow. And he's okay. That one might just be S+ tier. That's such a funny story. What? That one is so funny. I really like that one. I'm going to give that one a like too. S+, crazy story. Let's go to the next one.
He dove in, knowing alligators and snakes were swimming below him, but he had to do this. You see, he had been playing video games when a hurricane hit. Water rushed in so fast that families were trapped inside their homes. So the boy grabbed an air mattress and loaded people onto it.
Oh, that is genius. Wow.
Dragging them to safety. Then he heard screaming across the street. He swam over and rescued an elderly woman, her grandson, and their dog. After 2 hours, the mattress finally burst, but by then he had saved 17 lives.
Wow. W Kid, that's going to be an S tier. What a hero. Back-to-back S tier, that's an incredibly rare moment. Zack was on a roll the day he made these shorts. Where are the alligators coming from? That is actually a really good point. If this is because of a hurricane, how would there be alligators in the water? It would just be rainwater. This must be Florida. Let's go to the next one.
A knock came at Abe Lincoln's store in the middle of the night, and when he opened it, his friend screamed that the world was ending. Lincoln rushed to the window and saw what looked like thousands of stars falling from the sky. And all over the country, people were panicking. Some ran, terrified that God was coming to judge them. Others thought that angels were coming down to earth, and the whole sky looked like it was moving. But when
these old people thought everything was God. Yo, they just didn't understand the world. They would probably see like a rock stumble down a mountain and think that God threw it down the mountain. Like they don't understand anything.
Lincoln looked closer,
Thank you for the $1 donation.
noticed the constellations still looked the same, convincing him that the stars weren't falling at all. Years
Abe's a
later,
smarty
scientists
pants.
realized a comet was actually passing close to Earth, and hundreds of thousands of tiny pieces broke off as it moved. As they fell through the atmosphere, they burned up, causing a massive meteor shower, meaning Lincoln was right all along.
That one's an A tier. That one's fire. Wait, we're on a roll here. Ooh. No, that one was sick. I think it's funny how stupid old people are. Or not old people, but like people that were alive in like a long time ago. Let's go to the next one.
She saw a strange mole on the back of the man's neck. It was an odd color, meaning she thought it could have been cancer. Now, she was nervous about upsetting a stranger, but someone had to warn him. So she typed a note in big letters on her phone and pressed it to the glass. The manager read the message, but walked away without saying anything. Now, he went to a doctor just in case, and when they checked the mole, they actually found cancer, which they quickly removed. He asked people to help him find the woman. Strangers
That's a W lady. I hope that he finds her.
shared the story, and when she was finally identified, both teams surprised her with a $10,000 scholarship
Whoa.
as a thank you for saving his life.
That's got to be an A tier, possibly S tier. Riz, bro, what about that is Riz? That is not Riz, bro. She's just helpful. That is not Riz. She is a baddie. You know what? This is the one time I'll agree with the chat on that one. Let's go to the next one. It's going to be an AS tier.
If you take a stick and pack snow around it, you can roll the whole
I'm going to call it an A+.
thing into a snowball. Then stand it upright and pack the snow tight before pulling out the stick. Next, make a second hole at the bottom, joining it with the first hole. And when you light kindling and put it inside, the snow protects it from the wind, while the fire sucks in air through the bottom vent. And even though the snow slowly melts, the stove will last long enough to boil water, allowing you to make a hot coffee in the worst conditions.